Welcome to the Lose Your Big Ass Stomach podcast. I'm your host, Jay Jackson, and my mission here is to help you get rid of that big ass stomach and take back control of your health so that you can look and feel your best by being the best version of yourself, mentally and physically, while destroying the mediocre agenda society is trying to brainwash you into, and breaking our families' generational curses of being unhealthy by being a healthy and fit role model. It's time to set a new standard. It's time to set a new standard of living. If you find the podcast helpful, be sure to hit that follow button because that helps us build a movement. Let's go.
Listen, guys, if you notice that you have a hard time with having energy, you notice that you have brain fog right when you wake up in the morning, or maybe in the middle of the day, you find yourself you did great in the morning, but now midday, you just get that midday slump. You're like, hey, man, why am I always hitting this wall in the middle of the day? Well, I just don't have the energy to perform the rest of my hours while you're at work or in your career. You know what I'm saying? I want to share with you some things that you want to pay attention to before you start looking at coffee or energy supplements. Because what most people think is, man, I just need to chug some more coffee. Man, I need to take me some caffeine pills. Man, I need to take me a energy drink. You know what I'm saying? And I get it, guys. You know, if you're sedentary, sitting down for long hours at a time, they say being sedentary is like the new modern day cigarette smoker. They say being sedentary causes heart disease, among other things like being obese, gaining a lot of weight. You know, you're just not moving as much as you need to. And so these things are very important, all right? So what I see most times, because when most people reach out to me who have these demanding careers, whether they're an entrepreneur, they work in tech, they have a real estate business, whatever they do, they not only want to lose weight because they want to, you know, be that role model, they want to be an example, you know, they want to look the part, but they also want to have energy on a daily basis to be able to perform in their career at a high level, to be able to still show up for their family and the people they love and care about. And so with that said, they also want to have energy. They don't want to just look the part, right? And so here's what you have to do. Because most times when people reach out to me, they don't want to just lose the weight when they reach out. They want to have energy. They want to be able to, you know, enjoy life. They want to have a good quality of life, which being able to have a good quality of life requires having good health. If you notice that your energy level is low all the time, if you notice that you have brain fog all the time, guys, your health isn't up to par, okay? You have to start improving different things about your lifestyle for your energy and your health to improve. And so what I see most folks doing when they reach out, they're just eating bagels for breakfast, donuts for breakfast, croissants for breakfast. And a lot of people, like I mentioned earlier, when they come to the program, they want to know what kind of results can they expect. And not only do a lot of my clients drop 2, 3, maybe 4 pounds within their first week, you know, a lot of times, the biggest thing that I see that's really consistent, they notice that their energy level just goes through the roof. They just get way more energy because it doesn't take that long to get that energy when you start to improve your eating habits. Most folks who are just drinking the frappuccinos, the energy drinks, the coffees, and all these types of things, and they're like, dang, why I don't have no energy? It's the quality of the foods and the beverages that you're drinking, all right? Even Red Bull. Now, Red Bull, yeah, it has caffeine in it, but it also has a shit ton of sugar in it, too. But most folks are not even paying attention to these things, all right? And so what I want to do is help you become more aware of it, and so that way you're not sitting at work, having brain fog, feeling like you just, man, when the day gonna be over? You know what I'm saying? And so instead, the first thing I teach my coaching clients is this. We shift from pleasure-based focus nutrition to value-based focus nutrition, okay? It's not to say that we don't still eat foods we enjoy eating, because I do something called flexible nutrition, all right, for fat loss. I do something where you can still enjoy yourself, but you're enjoying yourself in moderation, okay? Meaning 80% of the time, you're eating foods based on value. The other 20% of the time, you're eating foods based on pleasure, you know? But if you have too much pleasure-based food in the front of your day, like in the morning, in the afternoon, that's how you notice that you're gonna be tired. No question about it, you're gonna be tired. You're gonna have brain fog. You're gonna feel like you're just trying to fight through the day. And so instead of doing frappuccinos, do a cold brew. do an iced coffee, do a black coffee, okay? Do something with caffeine in it, minus all the added sugars, minus all those extra creamers. Guys, if you, I did a Instagram reel on this, a couple of months ago, and I was holding up a Frappuccino bottle. And if you look at how much calories and sugar, most people don't even look at it. They just know it tastes good. If you're not looking at how much sugar and calories is in your Frappuccino bottle, dude, it's like 200-300 calories. And most folks not just drinking a Frappuccino. They're eating a bagel, a croissant, a muffin, or a donut. And so now they're eating easily 400, 500, 600, 700 calories. Easily. Not knowing why they're not losing weight. Not knowing why they have brain fog and they feel tired after they get done eating breakfast. It's the quality of the foods you're eating. Okay? And so drink a cold brew, drink an iced coffee, drink a black coffee, eat some type of protein and a fruit, or a protein and a vegetable, Something as simple as cold brew with an omelet with some spinach on the side, or cold brew with a yogurt and some berries on the side. This is how I teach my coaching clients how to eat. That way, they're not just losing weight, but they feel good. What's the point of looking good, but if you don't have the energy to enjoy your life? You don't have the energy to excel in your career. Some of y'all, you have great careers right now. You're doing well. Your family life, beautiful family, doing well. But how much better would your life be if you were 30 pounds less? If you had more energy, and not just physically, but more mental energy to be even more productive in your career, even more, show up more for your family and the people that you love and care about. And I get a lot of people who reach out, they say they do great, in their career, but by the time they get home, they're just tired. They don't have the energy to run around with their kids. They don't have the energy to, enjoy time with their spouse or their partner. They don't have energy. And so a lot of people think that they're healthy, but if you're always mentally and physically tired, can you truly say that you're healthy? Can you truly say that you're healthy? Because part of health is energy. And if you don't have that energy to be able to enjoy your life and, accomplish the things that you truly want to accomplish, you're noticing that you never have motivation to do anything. That's a part of your health. And so we have to improve your energy by improving the quality of the foods that you eat. Okay? Once you improve the quality, stop just being pleasure-based and start being value-based with the type of foods you eat. If you look at yourself as a high-value individual, how can you be high value if you're putting junk, low-value food in your body all the time? That way, you don't have that mental capacity to perform at the level you really could. You may be getting to the bag. You got money in the bank account, but you don't have the energy to excel the way you really could. And so it's very important to pay attention to the quality. Second thing that you got to pay attention to is structure. A lot of people that I help who are career driven, high achievers, they thrive off having structure. A lot of these types of people, they grew up playing some type of sports. And so they're very coachable. You give them a game plan, they thrive. With that, if they don't have the structure and the steps on what to do, they're all over the place. They don't have the motivation to do it. Because why would you have the motivation if you don't have the clarity? You see what I'm saying? And so if you notice that you thriving in your career because you have structure, because you have routine, because you have SOPs, you have to do the same thing with your health. You have to have structure and routine with your health. And you actually do have structure. It's just the wrong structure. You're winging it. And so what you need to have is, instead of saying, some days I'm going to eat breakfast, some days I'm going to fast. No. You need to have structure around what are the types of foods that I'm going to eat for breakfast? What are the foods that I'm going to eat for lunch? What am I going to eat for dinner? To not just eat something, but to feel something. If you don't feel well, it's because you're not eating well. I know if I go too long without eating anything, guys, I know I'm healthy. But my energy go start doing like this. I'm gonna get hangry. I'm gonna start being like real, just how can I say it? Just agitated by almost anything. I don't want to talk to nobody. You see what I'm saying? How can I perform at a high level if I'm just not eating anything the whole day? I'm starving myself. And so you have to understand how to manage your blood sugar and your energy based on the foods that you're eating throughout the day. If you're just fasting just to fast to, have a little bit more convenience and freedom to not have to eat anything in the morning, you actually can be creating a eating disorder, because you're just fasting and then afternoon come, you binge eat on something heavy. Evening come, you just slam it because you ain't had no energy, because you haven't been eating anything. And so this is what happens to a lot of people. They create binge eating disorders thinking that they're fasting. And so that's not the way they're supposed to work. You want to have structure. If it happens that you just didn't eat anything that morning, okay, that happens sometimes. But for the most part, you want to have a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner. What that's doing is that's helping you regulate your energy and your blood sugar throughout the day. And one of my coaching frameworks that I teach my clients is the 3-2-1 diet. Okay, 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, 2 snacks. All right, in between lunch. One snack in between breakfast and lunch, and then another snack in between lunch and dinner. The reason that I do this is so that way we can manage their blood sugar. All right, because if your blood sugar starts dropping, your energy starts dropping, you notice that you feel really tired. Okay, and you also may feel like you're starving. There's nothing worse than feeling like you're starving and you still got to eat something real healthy. Man, that's the last thing you think about eating. You want to just eat anything. Like even myself, y'all, even though I'm a coach, you only have so much discipline and willpower when you're hungry as hell. And so this is why I built that structure, the 3-2-1 diet, 3 meals, 2 snacks, 1 cheat meal a week. And once you get into a strong foundation of doing these things, you actually notice that you can eat more than 1 cheat meal a week. Very important, guys. And so you got to have structure. If you don't have routine in your life, this is how you'll notice that you have a lot of inconsistency in your life. You'll notice that you have inconsistency with your energy, inconsistency with your weight, inconsistency with your with having brain fog and things like that, inconsistency with having motivation. If you don't feel well, if you don't have the energy, of course you're not going to have motivation to do anything. But if you start eating more quality food, having more structured eating habits, energy goes through the roof. And when you start having more energy, you start feeling more capable. You start having energy, you start feeling like you can do more. You can thrive in your career. You can still enjoy time and have a abundant social life versus feeling like sitting at the house. I was talking to a guy about 2 weeks ago. He was like, his wife, she always want to go out and she want to take his kids and him and go to the pool or to the beach, but he's always feeling tired because he got all that weight on him too. Not just the quality of the foods he's eating, but he got all that weight on him, and so he don't feel confident to go out and just enjoy life because of his weight and because of his energy. Guys, you got kids, you got family, that's the worst. That's one of the biggest blessings God can give you, man, having a family. But you can't even enjoy it because you don't have the energy to enjoy it. You have a great career, but how much better could you perform in your career if you had more energy, physically and mentally? And if you don't have the physical energy, that affects you mentally. That's why you got to exercise. If you don't have the mental energy, it affects you physically. That's why you have to eat properly. Our gut health affects our mental health. So these are the types of things you want to focus on before you start looking at taking a lot of caffeine, like coffee, or caffeine supplements, energy supplements, pre-workouts. Guys, I don't even remember the last time I had a pre-workout. I was probably maybe in my early 20s, maybe like 21, 22 years old. But once I stopped doing that and I started building a healthy relationship with food, all you need is a little bit of coffee. Because the same thing that's in these energy supplements, these pre-workouts, the main ingredient is caffeine. And so if you eat the right way, but you also drink a little bit of caffeine if you want to, from some cold brew, some coffee, or there's some other herbal supplements out there that you can take too. You have more energy, mentally and physically. That way you can enjoy your life and thrive in your career. All right. Hopefully y'all found this helpful. We out of here. Let's get it.
Yo, appreciate you for tapping in and listening to the podcast episode today. Hopefully you found it valuable, and if you did and you want to learn more about how I can help you lose the big ass stomach, transform your body, and get your health on point, DM me real results over on Instagram at JJacksonOfficial for more information, and I'll reach back out to you to do what I can to help you hit those health and fitness goals. Let's get it.